How are you all? Thank you guys for being here. Let me say hello to you first, and then we'll get into what we're going to look at today. So, hey, Jessie Lynn. Hey, Search and Rescue. Hello, Jay. Hey, Adrian. Hey, Pointer Lover. Riddler. B. Crumbs. Hello, Ava. Hey, Connie, Kathy, Adrian, Kate, Pepper, Stephanie, Search and Rescue K9, Tisha Marie, Bex, Amber, Sherry, Adrian, Katie, Salmonella, Paris. Hey, Mama Chase. Hey, Lil Red. Let's see. Hey, Lover of God. Riddler, good to see you. Hey, Nadie. Well, I have breakfast with tiny humans. I hear ya. That sounds like a fun morning. Hey, Carol Clark. Hey, Alyssa. Okay, so today we have a few things to talk about regarding Savanah and Matthew's case. I had posted something yesterday, and we did like a little New Year's news live where we just talked very briefly about them asking for, the social media rumors and stuff like that to stop. But today we're going to look at a couple things. So one, the district attorney has done an interview, and Duty Ron, who is a retired law enforcement officer, has played that interview and given a little bit of insight. I want to look at just a few minutes of that. I have linked that video in full in the description. Yesterday, there was a vigil for Matthew, and Ickedmel has a video with his dad speaking at the vigil, and so I've linked that as well, and we may look at that. I have about a 2-minute video of his brother speaking after the vigil, and then I wanted to talk about some stuff that was going around that we've debunked that we know isn't true, but is just gross and disgraceful. So we're going to get into all of that. I'm happy to be here with you guys. I know that it's early. I don't know. I'm kind of like experimenting on all different times of day we're going to stream. And so, yeah, Katie J says, I watched that this morning with Duty Ron. I watched it last night, and I'm excited to talk about it because I hadn't seen it anywhere else. Hey, Delana. Hey, Sophie. Black Swan, good to see you guys. Hello, Tess. Hey, Shani. Petunia. Hey, Trulia. Beautiful girl. My West Virginia sister. Okay, so let's go ahead and get right into it. I think first we're going to start with the misinformation that we've debunked. I have to say it wasn't even me. So in the Patreon that I have, we have like a group chat, and I love that group chat. I think that it's so awesome because we just connect about all kinds of stuff all day long. And we were talking in there because I had seen that there was a video shared where they claim to have a photo of Matthew and his head injury, like on the table. And this photo is being passed around and shared. So it came from originally this fella. Let me show you on TikTok right here. First, I have to say, I mean, how damn disgusting. If it was real, which it's not, if it was, I mean, I don't think that it needs to be out there on the internet for God and everybody to stumble across before they've even arrested a suspect. I mean, it's pretty disgusting. Anything and everything for clicks, views, money, attention, whatever. And so this young man shows a picture, and this video is being passed around all over the place. It's not Matthew. We found that picture flipped inverted. I didn't. One of you guys did and sent it to me. Found that picture inverted on Google. It's a random person. And it's just absolutely disgusting the way that people. So just know, if you see that, first of all, it's not real. Second of all, it has no business, even if it was real, being out here. It's really frustrating because, like, I enjoy true crime. I love being able to talk about this stuff with you guys. And I think that we have like a really special, important little place in the world, and we can make a difference. We're going to talk today about something we're going to do to try to make a difference. Excuse me, with a nonprofit that was brought to my attention because of this case. Crystal, thank you. First live, you get me through my day driving for FedEx. Thank you for all. Crystal, that's so sweet. Thank you. I appreciate that. And safe. Hopefully you have a safe day driving around. Wow, sick. TikTokers are worse than YouTubers. I know. It's crazy. I don't partake in victims' photos, and I'm nuts. Cray. Some of this stuff is so cruel to the parents. Yes, they love the lifestyle, but I don't think they should be faulted. They did not deserve to be unalive, especially the unborn child. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. And so Jennifer Coffindaffer had shared like a link to an article and said that the muzzle was pressed directly up against his head. And in that article, I wasn't able to find where she got that source of information, but doing a search, I was able to find an article that described that his injury was listed as a contact gunshot wound. This is from like Express News San Antonio. You have to pay to read their articles. I even tried today and they kept like declining my card. It has money on it and it's only 99 cents. So I don't know what was going on. I can't pull the article for us. But if you guys, if you want to go look for yourself, you can probably get to view it for free once or something like that. It is out there. But it just, I don't know. I just want you guys to know that is not real. And not only that, if it was, it would not be right to pass it around like that. What if you did have, first of all, the picture is like of a person on a medical table, like an examiner's table. And it's from all you see is like the back of the head. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Hey, beach lover. Hey, pursuing understanding. Good to see you guys. So that we're going to mark that off of our list. Misinformation. It's not true. Period. There is a lot of it. Hey, Angela, a lot of misinformation. The sheriff mentioned that during the first press conference. Well, I watched that. I don't know. I guess it left my head because I was wondering or like didn't stick or I didn't like fully grasp it. Sometimes I'll watch something. I need to watch it a few times before it'll like stick in my brain and I'll remember it. But I was wondering, where did they get that information? Because can they get the medical's examiner's report? Because wouldn't it be in that? I don't think the death certificate is available yet. I don't know. But let's see. Connie says when they did a press conference, they said it was a contact head wound, so that has been confirmed. Right. Yeah, it is. It's out there in their local news. If the police said it in the press conference, I feel a lot more comfortable trusting police. Not that it has really anything to do with this picture anyways. I think that, I don't know. I don't like it. Okay, but we're going to go ahead and keep moving forward to some of the other things that we're going to talk about. So like I said, this video in full is in the description box. Duty Ron, he's a retired NYPD officer, also World Trade Center 9/11 first responder. Some of these, for me, when I'm watching YouTube and I'm getting information from a police officer, a detective, a lawyer, somebody who's worked in the field, one of our friends here at the channel worked in a DA's office, someone like that, I can put a lot more weight into what they're saying. But, I've seen it can be good and bad. We've got good and bad of everything. So I just think that Duty Ron is one of the good ones. I do enjoy his channel. I think he tries really hard to not spread misinformation, to speak out, to clear things up for people when it's hard to understand for your average person. So I do highly recommend his channel. And we're just going to watch a minute of this and talk about what he gathered from this. So the DA did an interview, which I hadn't seen anywhere else. So I'm really glad he did this video. And the DA, Duty Ron, feels like he got a few clues into what's going on based on what he said in this interview. Now, I am a little confused because he makes the assumption that they're near the point in the investigation when they're going to make an arrest and that they're potentially going to arrest one individual, that the DA corrects it later on in his speech to individuals. But my confusion comes in with, we see this video, right? And in this video, there's multiple people. There's 2 cars. We think there's 3 people because we see someone hand that towel to that overweight guy, to the big guy. So how could they only arrest one person? I don't know. But nonetheless, he knows a lot more about it than I do. So we're going to hear what he has to say, what the DA has to say, and we'll talk about it along the way. Thank you, Amber. Hey, Jeannie. Good to see you. Thank you, Trulia. I'm tripping over my words this morning, you guys. His dad and stepmom seem like good people. Matthew was 22, an adult who made his own choices. It's not the parents' fault. Some are just evil and will say anything. It's sad. I agree with you. I don't think this is the time to beat people up for their lifestyle and stuff like this. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you're out there abusing your body every day, smoking crack on the street. You don't deserve to be murdered. You know, that's just the truth. So KW10 says, it's a level of evil I can't comprehend, to be able to unalive a woman fixing to give birth, resulting in an unaliving of an innocent baby. I have a hard time comprehending that evil. I know. He has so much integrity. He does. And like I said, I've seen a few bad examples of retired officers online, and I think that he's a really good example of what they can do and how they can help us understand some of this stuff. Okay, let me just get to the bottom of the chat. I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. I feel they also know who it is. They know who it is. It's not going to be a normal arrest. They are dangerous people. It's going to be a SWAT situation, I believe. Hey, Kayan, good morning. Hey, Anonymous. He says he flips it, but what happens if the DA actually realizes his mistake, that it's a single person, and then corrects himself and says multiple people? We could take it either way. Right. And how could it only be one person? Duty Ron has a friend who's going to enhance and blow up the video of the car and truck meeting in the parking lot, and he's supposed to show it later tonight. Ooh, interesting. His girlfriend is in law enforcement and doing this for him. Hey, GT, morning. Okay, so let's just go ahead and hear this. Hey, T. Adams, good to see you. And we will come back and talk in just a second.
We'll see what if you guys picked up what this district attorney said. So here we go.
And whatever you do, please be safe out there. It was a week ago today we first reported about a missing pregnant teen and her boyfriend. And now police are searching for whoever's responsible for killing Savanah Soto, her unborn baby, and Matthew Guerra.
KENS 5 reporter Megan Reyna spoke with the district attorney about what punishment could come with this capital murder case.
District Attorney Joe Gonzalez says this is a capital murder investigation because it involves multiple victims, including an unborn baby. That means a suspect or suspects could face life in prison without parole or the death penalty. He says it's just too soon to say if his office will seek the death penalty, but he believes police will make an arrest soon.
In the event that happens, certainly that is something that we would potentially consider.
Gonzalez says
okay, so that is the DA. Let me just say thank you, Debbie. Welcome. Thank you for joining. I appreciate that so much. And okay, we're going to listen to what the DA have lurked for months. It was time. Oh, I love that. I've lurked for months. It was time. Well, thank you. Okay. So
his office has a capital crimes committee that votes on whether to seek the death penalty in certain cases. Since Gonzalez has been in office, he's prosecuted more than 100 capital murder cases.
We've only made the election to seek death twice in my office during my administration, one of which we resolved.
Okay, so I have to pause here. I don't like to pause a lot, but I know that can be annoying. However, we have to do fair use, but this was something that stood out to me. Just because it's a capital murder case doesn't mean that they will get the death penalty. So that's really interesting. It means they have the potential to get it. But he says out of 100 capital murder cases that since he's been in office, they've only done 2, and one of them pled out or whatever. And so I found that really interesting. The other one is someone who ended up killing a police officer. Here, I'll just let him tell you because I don't want to relay it wrong. But just because it's a capital crime doesn't mean necessarily the DA and this committee they have will choose to go for the death penalty.
Before it went to trial.
The one that went to trial was a case of Otis McCain. He murdered San Antonio Police Detective Benjamin Marconi in 2016.
We have discussions about obviously how egregious a case is, what makes this a capital murder case. Other issues, for example, is whether or not this defendant is a continuing threat to society. Because
he says they also consider the family's wishes.
We're going to do, I've said this before, we're going to do everything possible to ensure that these individuals, when they're caught, and I'm confident that they will be caught and charged with capital murder, that we hold them accountable and that we do everything to bring justice to the memory both Savanah, Soto, and Matthew Guerra.
Gonzalez is just urging anyone with information to reach out to SAPD. We have that number on our website, kins5.com.
All right, I'm going to stop it there and I'm going to put it back.
Okay, now
I'm not going to play it right
let
now.
me say first, thank you to Black Swan. I appreciate that, and Happy New Year. That is very sweet. Okay, so now let's see what Duty Ron takes from this. And I have questions. This confused me, like I said. But I'll let him speak first, and then I'll explain what I mean.
But I'm going to put myself back on the screen. The district attorney first said, whoever. He made a reference to not plural. The second time he said perpetrators. But the first time he said the perpetrator that committed this crime. I feel we're going to make an arrest soon. So it makes me think, as a detective and as someone who's worked cases, that perhaps there's one individual that they're looking for, because he corrects himself after he makes that boo-boo.
Okay, so I am not a detective. I have not worked cases. He obviously knows so much more about this than me. But my question, if I could speak directly to him, would be, how could they only arrest one person when we see multiple people in that video? You know what I mean? So at the very least, there were multiple people involved after, right? Because they do believe that that video was taken after they were already deceased. Lil Red thinks they probably already have everyone but one. That's an interesting way to look at it. Yeah, I just don't know. And before we hear this from Duty Ron and him kind of explain, and he'll play this again. And like I said, the full video is linked in the description. I highly recommend subscribing to his channel. I feel like most of you guys probably are, right? But if you aren't, it's just a great place to gather real information, accurate information, at least the most accurate that we could expect from somebody. Let me just show you this picture, though, that I found on Facebook. On Savanah's Facebook. Like, I don't know who's taking it over, but there is somebody posting lots of stuff over there. And I just loved this picture. I thought it was really, really beautiful. Let's see. Alex in chat, do you think some or all of the suspects have gone over the border? Well, I think it's possible. We talked yesterday about Kimberly Singler, and she was found in the UK. You know, I think that would be your instinct, right? You commit this horrific crime. You know people are looking for you. Run as far away. I don't know. Kathy says maybe the main perp, in quotations, and the rest are conspirators, or potentially like after the fact. Quinny, one pulled the trigger, the others are accomplices. But this is the thing. Let's say that this took place in the process of another crime, like a burglary, a kidnapping, something like that. Then all of them would be charged with felony murder. That's the way that it works, right? Or capital murder or whatever. Once, if a murder happens in the commission of another felony, then everyone involved gets charged. Just like if 4 people rob a bank, 3 people go inside, and I'm number 4, and I sat in the car. And while they're inside, number 3 gets in his feelings and kills somebody, and he's not supposed to. And then he runs out to the car, and we all run away. I'm going to be charged with murder too, because I'm part of this robbery. You know what I mean? Marie says, as a Hispanic coming from the same lifestyle, we need to train our kids up in a good way so they do not go this way, which leads to death only. I'm also Hispanic, Marie, but only a quarter. But my mom is like the first full generation of her family that was born here. But my grandfather was born here, but he was the only one of his siblings that was. So Tisha says, I believe the detectives are already on their tail. They are just building up the case to make sure it sticks. Once they get one in custody, they will start singing. Yeah, I had somebody leave a comment on one of my videos, like that I was being somewhat like racist or judgmental of Hispanic Americans. And I'm like, hello, I am one. And I grew up in a like, my grandfather was so big on his heritage. And it was just a huge thing in our family and still even is. So, I would never be that way. Even if I wasn't, I just would never be that way. But I found that kind of funny. Jesse says, I think they know who actually pulled the trigger. They will go for the ones who were there after. I think they are wanting the one who pulled the trigger first more than anything. Borders are open, so it would be easy, says Grateful Mama. Amber, my mod abilities. What? Just a second, you guys. Let me. Okay, we're going to flip back. I'm going to check that out while we listen to the rest of what Duty Ron has to say about this, because I do find it really insightful and interesting. I think Duty Ron kind of took it how he wanted. The DA could have quite easily corrected himself and changed the person to multiple persons because he realized he made it sound like just one. I thought the same thing. Like, what if it's the opposite? Kind of interesting. Let's keep listening.
And he's saying to himself, and this is me thinking out loud, oh, I can't give away the shop. And I just did. So let's play it again, and let's take a listen closely to the part where he says about the arrest being imminent.
Only made the election to
Since Gonzalez puts on whether
consider
Gonzalez
in the event that happens. Certainly, that is something that we would potentially consider.
Gonzalez says his office has a capital crimes committee that votes on whether to seek the death penalty in certain cases. Since Gonzalez has been in office, he's prosecuted more than 100 capital murder cases.
We've only made the election to seek death twice in my office during my administration, one of which we resolved before it went to trial.
The one that went to trial was a case of Otis McCain. He murdered San Antonio Police Detective Benjamin Marconi in 2016.
We have discussions about obviously how egregious a case is, what makes this a capital murder case. Other issues, for example, is whether or not this defendant is
Whether or not this defendant.
So he uses
there's
defendant and as a singular person there. Ava says, I love Duty Ron, but DAs are human too. They're used to saying perpetrator more often than the plural version. It could be a slip either way or simply unknown. That's a good point, Ava. Hey, Richard. I don't believe that we could tell anything definitively. It's just interesting to kind of think about and talk about. Hey, wife Lilith. Hey, Richard. Oh, I think I said hi to you already, but still. Hey, Heather Powell. Hello twice. In Texas, everyone is charged the same. That's what I thought. Judy says they may have one in custody already and still looking for the others that are involved. It's definitely possible. Okay, I'll let him finish what he took from this, and then we're going to move on to a couple other things. So
right there at the 1 minute and 26 second mark, he says, one of the questions that we have is whether this defendant, he didn't say these defendants, plural. He said the defendant. So I caught that right away, and I said, he corrects it in the next sentence that he makes. So let's listen to it here.
Whether or not this defendant is a continuing threat to society. Because
he says they also consider the families.
So again, this is a pre-recorded interview that they did with him. So the news cuts away here and they cut it up and edit. That was in a continuous conversation. And then I come back, and then in his next sentence, he corrects it and says defendants. But at 126, my spidey sense, and as a seasoned detective, makes me say they got the cell phone records.
My spidey sense, I like that. That made me giggle as a seasoned detective. I don't know, just interesting to think about, you guys.
They did all of the forensics. They have one perpetrator. I'll put my stamp on that. If I'm wrong, I'll admit to it. But I don't think I'm wrong.
wishes.
Okay.
We're going to
So,
the
Marie, I am so glad that, it helps to help you through your day. That means the world to me. T. Adams says, I have a friend that raised her son in private schools and country clubs. He made bad decisions in going to prison. His parents did their best. T. Adams, I believe that because you guys know I've been very vocal. I have a short on my channel with my stories, a very toned down quick version of it in a short. But I went through a lot of years of being really reckless and just bad to myself, bad to my body, bad to the people around me, through lots of addiction. And my parents were incredible. They gave me every opportunity in the world. That is just the truth. They even paid for me to go to rehab twice. I don't believe it wasn't until I came to the conclusion myself that I wanted to be happy and free and live a real life and that I got better. But they did everything in their power to help and it didn't really make a difference. So I don't think that it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. Of course, the way that you're brought up is going to shape and mold who you are, but we are individuals, and if we're determined to be reckless and wild, then we're going to do that. Teresa said, the word defendant stands out to me because it makes it sound like someone is already in custody, but it could just be wording. Well, I thought about that too. And there's a lot of rumors that there have been an arrest or something like that. But I don't know. I haven't seen anything confirmed. So, I just think that we'll have to wait and see. I would think they would announce it. Marie says, I think it's hilarious when people call us racist, not knowing what we are. Been there too. Hey, Clancy. I'm glad they're not letting it go cold either. But, the average time for them to arrest somebody, it's not really quick. They usually don't make an arrest within the first couple of days. We heard that. I think, 3 months on average or something? Space Cake. Sometimes trauma is passed down through families, and other times people just create or find their own traumas and get caught with their own cycles. So now we're going to move on to yesterday. They had a vigil. We do have Matthew's brother talking about that a little bit, and I thought we'll listen to it just to see. And then Ickedmel has done a video where he shows Matthew's father speaking at the vigil. We'll watch a minute of it. I'm not going to play his whole video. I really like to encourage you guys to go over there, check out his channel. He's been covering this really in depth. He does an excellent job. And the link to this is also in the description now. And then we're going to talk about this nonprofit that I want to talk about. Hey, Blue Dolls. That's been helping, that's paying for the funeral of Savanah and baby Fabian. Oh, sexy Scorpio, I've been clean 7 years. That's awesome. Me too, 7 years. So I'm proud of you. That is awesome. Hello, Bendy. Good morning. Thank you, Marie. We love you being here. Crystal says, as cliche as it sounds, these young people got to realize this dope game doesn't care about them. Nobody involved in it does. Only money and product. I wasted 15 years using... Girl, yes, you are so right. Let me tell you what, you don't have friends in that world. You just don't. And really, anybody in active addiction is never going to put you first. I don't care if it's family, your best friend, your mom, your dad, your kids. I don't care, because that is part of us in active addiction. We will put the addiction first as addicts. That's just the way it is. That's why, really, for me at this point in my life, if somebody is in active addiction, family or not, mom, brother, whatever, which my mom is not, but I'm just saying, if they were, I would have to love them from a distance, because I know the damage that can be done, because of it. And that is just the truth. Back to work for me today, says Birdie. Rarely catch a laugh, so wanted to say hi. I'm lucky I can listen and work while lurking in the background. Oh, Birdie, I'm happy that you're here, and happy to give you something to lurk or listen and lurk to. Lurking and a twerking. See, Marie, yeah, I'm hearing a lot of rumors like that, but I don't think that I've seen anything that shows that to be true. Oh, try being a blonde. The jokes are so funny. Oh my gosh. Oh, that is funny. Said, better be ready for a joke back. Hey, Candace. Okay, let's watch a moment of this. I do want to say, I was confused. I did not realize that Matthew's dad was with a new woman, not his mom. So in the first, when this was first breaking, which that's the way it is, you guys, misinformation goes wild. When a case blows up, when I first started covering this, I didn't ever realize it would get the attention it's gotten now. But anytime a case just like blows up really quickly, misinformation is everywhere. And that's just the truth. T. Adams, there is so much more they can't say at this point. Exactly. Teacup, my best friend. Let me read just a couple more of your comments and we'll get back into it. I know some people do not love the interaction with the chat, but I do. That's what this channel is about. We do a lot of live shows and we like to communicate with each other. It's not just me talking to you guys. So that's just that. Teacup says, my best friend just started her first day in private practice as an addiction counselor. I'm so proud of her for taking the leap. She's very passionate about helping others. That is awesome, because that field needs people who truly care and truly do want to help, not just people who are just doing it for a job and hate their job. That can be really damaging. They're in really important positions where they can truly shape and mold somebody's future. Addiction didn't happen to my sister until a breakup in her 30s, and it's so bad that she now lives on the streets and consumed in alcoholism, even selling her body for drugs and alcohol. Clancy, I know it doesn't discriminate. That's just the truth. Addiction does not discriminate. It can happen to anybody, everybody. You did explain it, but I didn't, it was so, because Jen, when we first found it, did like a deep dive on everybody, and it was so fast and so much information. I just don't think that it sunk in. Some of it doesn't stick. Hippie chick, Alex, I love how you interact with the chat, and if people don't, they have the option to move on. Keep doing you. Thank you, hippie chick. Well, I love you guys being here with me and interacting with me. Addiction doesn't care who you are. If I could only tell you some that were at the private place my son was. All right, let's listen to this for a minute. This is from the Vigil. We're going to watch the brother talk about the Vigil, and let's see. I miss Clancy. Oh, no, I didn't, about her sister. Yeah, it's just sad. I hope the sad thing is that until somebody's ready to get better, you can want it for them so much. You can do everything in your power. Like I said, my family sent me to rehabs and all the things. And until I came to this realization myself, I mean, you could try to help people come to that realization, but it's a very tough place to be in. And I really do feel for any of you guys going through that. Okay, let's go.
And today was Matthew's vigil, and Matthew's father and stepmother spoke to the news for about 8 minutes. So I'm going to play that and watch it with you.
Gabriel Guerra, G-A-B-R-I-E-L-G-U-E-R-R-A.
Raquel Guerra, R-A-Q-U-E-L. Last name is G-U-E-R-R-A.
And I know this is obviously a really difficult time, but talk about what tonight means to you all.
Tonight is basically coming together, friends and family, sharing special memories about Matthew, and just having all the support of his friends and family, and come together and just remember him and celebrate his life.
And who was Matthew? Talk about the kind of son he was.
He was energetic, ball of energy, loving, playful, fun.
Silly.
We miss him every day. I talk to him every morning, and we're just here. All the family and support has been, friends, family has been incredible, and it's helped us get through this difficult moment. And like I said, we're just out here remembering him and just waiting for justice.
I cannot freaking imagine. I mean, my heart goes out to this family so much. Not only have they lost multiple people, right? But they're being blasted all over social media, good, bad, and the ugly, lots of rumors, lots of bullshit. I cannot imagine. I really cannot. Let's see. I just wanted to read 3 comments really quick. The first one is Anonymous. Thank you for being a member 18 months. I love that you read the comments you respond to. That is a learned thing, because when I first started streaming, I did not. And there were many people who were listening but not watching. Maybe they're working, cleaning their house, whatever. And they're like, what are you talking about? So I'm trying to do better about that. Tisha says, and overcoming addiction is not as easy as some people think. A lot of people stuck in addiction want to stop, but without help, it's extremely hard. That is so true. A lot of people want to stop. I know the last few years of my addiction, all I did was think about how much I hated it. It was either laying there miserably sick or laying there high and thinking about every time you get high, you're like, this is the last time. I'm not doing this to myself anymore. I'm not doing this to myself anymore. Then you're sick, and it's a whole thing. Lisa says, man, people were rude when the family was talking. So sad. Oh, Sharon, that's freaking awesome. 20 years. I'm proud of you. I don't think, okay, so this trip, I don't want to talk about, there are a lot of, this Trevor, this Annalise, I don't think that it's productive for me to talk about it. I think you guys are fun to discuss whatever you want, but we are, like right now, there's 500 people in here, and the family has asked to stop with the rumors. And I really want to try to be respectful to that. I can understand people are like, well, you get social media involved, they're going to be involved. But at the end of the day, all we can do is our best. And I really don't want to fuel the rumors. But there are a lot of people that are being blasted on social media as suspects and stuff. And different things that they're posted are being looked at and talked about. I really think it's just rumor right now, and we can't put too much into it. Now, privately, we can discuss it, and we might do that like in little or whatever. But I just think for here, I don't want to go too far into that. I do know that, we know that the lifestyle they were living was, Matthew with all the money and the telegram and stuff like that. It's just a dangerous lifestyle, especially when you do start talking to police and stuff like that. And I don't know that he was, but if he was, Oh, thank you, Sexy Scorpio. Thank you for joining. Oh, Jesse, I am so sorry. Who died by the hands of someone else who walks free. Now, this is another thing. I don't have a lot for dealers these days. And I can imagine that you don't, Jesse, and many people who have been in your shoes don't, because they're ruining lives for money. Money is the root of all evil. But I don't have a lot. I think that they need to be punished to the highest degree. Thank you, Bandy. Allie does great at reading the comments and responding. Sometimes I mess up, but thank you. Jen says that sick gets you, and it's so hard to not do what you need to do so not to be sick, even if it is women on the street selling their bodies and stuff, because it's just people will go to the lowest lows they would never dream of or imagine to get that fix. It is just so bad. Fonda says, I'm new to YouTube, so I'm still uncomfortable and trying to figure it out. I love how welcoming your chat is. You're very informative, Allie, and I wish I'd found you sooner. Well, I'm so happy that you're here. And YouTube can be a really awesome place. I will tell you, there's a lot of craziness and a lot of chaos, but there is so much love. And I mean, the way that the people in this community have came together to support different charities and just each other. And, through Christmas, like we shared community wish lists, and I cannot get over like how powerful you guys are when you come together and how much love you have for each other. It's really special. So I'm glad that you're here, Fonda. Maybe we don't name names, right? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't really think, I just want to be careful. Ma'am, the chief of police stated it was a contact wound. I think you're behind, but I know. Okay, let's keep listening for just a moment, and then we're going to go hear from his brother, and then I'll let you.
For Matthew and Savanah and Fabian.
And you just kind of mentioned waiting for justice. I mean, obviously, there haven't been any arrests yet. Is it just hard to kind of wait day by day to see what happens?
I actually spoke to some parents of a friend of Matthew who had passed away recently, and they were telling me it took 3 months for the detectives to find the killers. And they knew exactly what I was going through and sleepless nights and not eating. And
that's where I heard the 3 months, I think. was from this earlier, that it took, another case 3 months. It's just not an overnight thing. But to hear him talk about not being able to eat and the sleepless nights, that is just heartbreaking.
They just told me to lean on family. A couple nights ago, we were at my mom's and I had all my brothers there, and we're all telling stories and Matt's cousins, and it's helping. And like I said, I've only spoken to the detectives one time, and he did let me know that he has, the investigation is just getting started, and I know I have to be patient. And like I said, all I can do right now is lift it up in prayer. And God says vengeance is His, and with all my heart, I believe that eventually the person responsible for this heinous crime will be caught and brought to justice.
The video.
Bill, last time we spoke, we talked about people speculating that Matthew might have had a part in it. We got the unfortunate news that the manner of death was homicide. Anything you say to that, the reaction to that?
I try to stay off of the internet and social media, and I think regardless of what I say or what's been brought to light, people are going to have their own opinion and say horrible things. But the more that I try and stay away, the more beautiful things I see people are doing.
I think that that's smart. If you're a family member and you're in the case of your loved one has blown up to the degree this has, the best thing to do is probably to stay out of it, because the rumors can be so vicious. It would be just so hurtful, I know, it's just, Okay, so this is his brother. He did a live after the vigil. We're going to talk about that. Also, I have pulled from Facebook more video from the scene, and I think we can look at that for a second. But just first, I want to talk to you about this nonprofit. So we talked about this in my New Year's news thing, but just to talk about it here for a moment. So Eagles Flight is a nonprofit, and this is the website. It's was founded through our personal journey with our son, who was diagnosed with autism 24 years ago. Since 2012, we've evolved into an outreach service for families in crisis. We assist families with food, clothing, and additional resources. We provide emergency shelter and assistance to women who are fleeing domestic violence and trafficking. We assist seniors and people with disabilities with needs within their homes. We promote the Baby Moses Law in our efforts to stand against child abuse. When our community calls upon us, we also bury abandoned and abused infants that passed away, providing them with honor and care in their burials. We provide summer animal play to special needs children, foster children, and children who have experienced trauma. So Eagles Flight, these folks are helping bury Savanah and the baby. And I'm going to see, we're going to do something to try to help and give back from this channel. I'm going to see, YouTube has this thing where after you hit a certain milestone, you can do fundraisers on the channel where the super chat button turns into a donate button, and all proceeds go to the charity. YouTube doesn't tax it, nothing goes through the creator's hands. I want to do it in a way like that. I'm going to look, I have not yet, to see if Eagles Flight is on YouTube to where you can just choose this nonprofit and see if we can do it that way. If not, I don't want to take up money or anything, so we're not going to do that. But maybe there's another way that we can give back. And if you guys have any ideas, please let me know in the comments down below, whatever. Okay, now let's go. We're going to watch his brother, just a minute or two of this live from last night. Remember, the links to Duty Ron and Ickedmel are in the description box. And I can put the link for this in the chat while we watch. And then
the vigil was okay.
After this,
not everybody showed up the way I wanted
after
to.
this, we will get into just some more of that video from the scene, just in case some of you guys hadn't seen it. Grizzlies Hood News on YouTube, they have the DA video. Thank you, Jules. I need to subscribe over there because I am not. Yes, I want to do a fundraiser for that charity if possible. Me too. But I don't want to collect money. We have to do it in a way that it's not like that. That just gets too, I just don't want to do it that way. So, okay.
The vigil was okay. Not everybody showed up the way I wanted to. There's a scar I got hit with the bottle. Hello. Do I have any idea who did it? I don't. I mean, I had a hunch, but clearly the officer said that the 3 suspects that we pointed out that were involved are not suspects. According to SAPD, they're not suspects. That's funny. Oh, dude, if TikTok was
Okay, so I'm going to put this video in the comments and because yeah, and we'll just watch it that way. Also this evening, I just want to be really careful about what did I do? I just want to be really careful about what we share over here, and maybe later we can talk about it in the Patreon or in private messaging by email. You can join that, by the way, free. You don't have to pay. You just won't get to see everything, but just so you guys know, because I do want to talk about some of that, but I think I just want to be careful about it. Okay, let me see. Oh, Mel, thank you. I always catch your replays. You're a class act, Al. Oh, I appreciate that so much. Well, I love your channel. I watch it whenever I see a video. You are just so funny. And thank you. That is so sweet. I appreciate that. Oh, I'm so sorry, Cha, to hear that. Cha said, I had a 14-year-old smoking weed and had Fent and it did not end well. I think they know who did it. I think so too, the brother seems to, I don't know, kind of give this vibe that he has some suspects in mind as well. But let me grab that link so you guys can watch it in full. And then we're going to get into this next video. I just want to make sure you have the link to the brothers. His name on Facebook is D.A. Streets. So really, this person is just on TikTok is just jacking his Facebook Live. You can go to his Facebook and watch and read, read whatever he puts out. As a matter of fact, I can get that link for you guys. But here's the TikTok. It might be too long. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so this is his Facebook account, and let me share it with you guys so you can go over there yourself. Okay. Not about me. You're awesome. Well, I appreciate that. You're awesome too. That's really freaking sweet. Hey, Tiff. Hey, Anaphylaxis. Hey, Jacqueline. Good morning and Happy New Year. Okay, so back to this for a minute. Let's just check this out in case some of you guys hadn't seen it.
Get over here. Go home.
And after this, I'm going to let you guys go. But I will say, in some of these videos of the scene, I don't know if it's this one or not. I've watched like so many different ones. You will hear people talking in the background and stuff. Just remember, these are just onlookers. They don't really have a clue exactly what's going on. And I wouldn't take anything they're saying to be factual at all.
Hey, what all have you heard? Did they live there?
Oh, we saw that. It's Maritza mentions, Savanah and Matthew's past. And
She's for the cheese man.
Everybody's got dumped.
we did talk about that.
Man.
Oh, that was posted.
Matter of fact, you know what we're going to do? We're going to mute it and just look at the scene while we talk. Because I don't think that it's helpful to just spread more rumors and more background noise that we really don't know if it's true. Oh, thank you, Jay. I'm really enjoying you being here. I appreciate that. I don't know when to go live. It's like, because between 6 and 8 is dinner time and stuff with the kids. Some of my friends already have times where they go live, like Jen goes live at 9, Melissa's on at 7 a lot, Amber's on at 8:30. And it's tough to find a time. So I'm trying to find more ways in the morning that we can. But when we get back to the phone calls, it'll be back to nighttime. But like I said, today we are going to try to do a Patreon hangout as well. And you don't have to pay to join Patreon. Now, some of the things are better to be private and behind a paywall, just like discussing some of the stuff with this. I just don't think that putting some of this stuff out publicly is really the best idea. But I love this time. Well, yay, Delana. I'll keep trying to do the morning ones. You guys, Shortcake loves them. Crystal likes them. Thank you guys. Hello, Insantor. I'm happy to see you. There is Jesse. Yay, hippie chick. Thank you. Chai says, I fully expect an arrest within 10 days when all the forensic testings returns and is evaluated. Well, this is interesting to me because I understand in the other cases it may take 3 months to get all the evidence and stuff. But this case has gotten so much attention and we have video footage of potential suspects. So for me, when I see a case where there is video footage like Rachel Morin, when that young man was seen going out of the house and the DNA, they had the DNA profile was the same as whoever took Rachel's life. They put the video out. You would think that when it goes out to so many people, somebody would recognize these people. And maybe they have. And the police have taken tips, but they have to wait for more evidence. You would just think that arrests would happen sooner rather than later. However, with Rachel's case, we still haven't seen an arrest. So I don't know. Let's do just a quick search on Twitter before I let you guys go, because sometimes we'll be live and some kind of news will break and I don't want us to miss that. So that's what we're going to do. And then I'm going to let you guys go. But thank you for being here with me this morning to talk about it all. Let's see. Thank you, Adrian. I know I'm missing some comments. Please give and Lynette my love. Oh my God, I just love those videos so much on Mel Mel's channel. The parodies, they're just brilliant. Kathy says, I would bet money they have eyes on somebody, just my gut feeling. I keep trying to mute to like clear my throat, or like it's cold and I'm outside now. Just fast forward the footage a little bit so you guys can see. But I'm always afraid I'm going to like accidentally not mute and then cough in your ear really loud if you have headphones on or something. So in Xantor, I still have that picture on my shelf in there. I love it so much. I know, Kathy, it's severe paranoia I deal with up here doing that. Just being for real. Let me see if I can fast forward just a little bit more. We don't want to see this dude. Okay, and then we're going to flip over to Twitter, like I said, to make sure we don't miss any news. Before the live, I Googled it, and the latest articles had been a couple days old, so I didn't see anything. Time for a new one. Oh my gosh, I would love that so much. Debbie's here. On Crime Curious's website, she has all the links and she keeps a log of anyone who sends anything. And we actually have a lot of stuff on the way. We have jail calls from February and March on the way. And then we have video calls from January, February, and March on the way. Like a total of like $600 or $700 of stuff, I think. So I'm really excited to get it all. Which, you know, I've gotten comments that are like, why are you excited to listen to this? Some people don't understand it, and that's okay if you don't. You know, if you're knee deep in it like a lot of us, then we want to listen and know what was going on during these calls, because it's a specific point in time where in between her arrest and the case, and you guys know, if you don't, it's okay. Just watch the other stuff. I just know that some people just truly do not understand. Anonymous says, my daughter-in-law is pregnant. Pregnancy is a dangerous time for women having violence committed against them. Yes, it is. I've seen several cases where women have had their babies stolen, you know, not just by, it's a dangerous time, you know, for people that they know, but also strangers on the internet, for meeting up with people for baby clothes, diapers, things like that. Debbie, I'm knee deep because of you guys. And thank you, Debbie. That's sweet. Oh, hi, Mama Shell Bell. Good to see you. Happy New Year. Cha says, crime labs are packed and they don't run cases in sequential order. They base it on the level of threat to the community. It's not quite fair to all victims. Well, that's just like news coverage, right? Like, some families are begging for anyone to talk about their loved one. They would do anything, pay money to have a 30-second segment on the local news, or an interview with a YouTuber, or a blog write about their case, right? And then we have the other end of things where families are like, please stop, please leave us alone, please stop the rumors, please stop talking about it. It's unfortunate because I have a series called True Crime News, and there's a playlist where we have went through hundreds of cases by this time that never get talked about. I subscribe to so many true crime channels. I'm truly interested in it no matter what, like on and off time. And some of these cases I just didn't see anywhere. But it's impossible for people to talk about all of them. You know, it's tough. Okay, so let's check out Twitter really quick. Here's the latest. We have daily news, shares an article. I can't believe I missed that in the press conference, him saying the full contact wound. But, you know, I notice I do that a lot, especially if it's something we watch together. It's really hard for me to watch and grasp everything that we're listening to while also watching chat and trying to communicate with you guys. It just can be tough. So here we have a tweet about Eagles Flight. That's the nonprofit I told you guys about. Eagles Flight is stepping in to help the family of Savanah Soto, who police say was murdered last week, along with her boyfriend, Matthew Guerra, and their unborn son, Fabian. I think those are the kinds of charities and stuff that we need to be trying to lift up and talk about. And yeah, I love that they're helping. I don't think a lot of people, they don't have money, you know, saved up for these kinds of emergencies. You truly never believe this kind of stuff is going to happen to you. We have Bullhorn Betty, who's talking about gang life. Okay. We have Zap Girl, who's put together all those Blink videos. I don't really want to play those here. I just don't think that I just don't want to. Updates plug, chilling footage. So I don't see anything new. ABC 13, the killings of 18-year-old Savanah Soto, who was pregnant with her son, and 22-year-old boyfriend Matthew are still sending waves of grief throughout San Antonio. We will check this out, and then I'll let you guys go. So, domestic violence survivor speaks out after pregnant teen's death. The killings of 18-year-old Savanah Soto, who was pregnant with her son Fabian, and her 22-year-old boyfriend are sending waves of grief throughout San Antonio. As a domestic violence survivor, Elizabeth Rahino is still heartbroken over Soto's death. Court records show Soto's boyfriend Matthew, who was also found with her, was on probation for assaulting her on Christmas last year. However, police investigations so far suggest Guerra was also a victim of homicide along with Soto. Rahino, although, recalls that it took several months to leave her violent relationship without being killed. There's protective orders in place and charges that have been filed. I've seen people go back. Always try to remind people, never place blame on someone who goes back, because you don't know the reason they went back. She say the couple's turbulent past was a sign things have gone from bad to worse. Regardless of what happened, she and her child were collateral damage. That something happened and they got caught in the middle and they paid the ultimate price. I've been muted this whole damn time. Arrgh. I'm so sorry. Thank you, B Crumbs, for gifting that. Hell, I don't even know the last thing you guys heard. Thank you, Crystal, for the super sticker. I missed that. Appreciate it. So this young woman did an interview with the local news and said, you know, I know that domestic violence is not what happened here. However, it's important to talk about, you know, and I agree with that. There are some statistics that I was muted and I want you guys to hear, and the rest I'll link and you can read for yourself. So last year, 216 Texans were killed by intimate partners. 17 victims killed during pregnancy. 17. That is unbelievable, you guys. I'm sorry, you guys. 17 killed during pregnancy. 19 were teen and young adult victims. That is unbelievable. This family violence prevention says domestic violence increases 20% during the holiday season. And they ended it with saying, you know, Savanah, you may call her an adult, but she was only 18 years old. And at the end of the day, you know, that's pretty young. I have to agree, that's a baby. You are not an adult at 18. You may legally be able to vote, but I don't care. You just are not. I mean, there's a reason. Hell, in West Virginia, where I moved from, they just changed the drinking age to 25. And you have to be 21 to buy cigarettes. You know, so I don't know. It's very, very tragic. There's the link to that article, though, so you guys can get it all. And I'm so sorry about that. Let me check on you guys. I'll talk to you for a minute in the comments and then I'll let you go. But thank you guys for being here this morning. And don't forget, there are links in the description to the videos that we watched today. Yeah. Mel says, I was 18, pregnant, and in a domestic abuse relationship. I had nowhere else to go. It's hard at that age to know what to do. I am so sorry. And I can imagine, because hell, I didn't know shit at 18. You know, I thought I know that some people, they have babies and stuff very young and they become very mature because they have to. For me, I did not become fully mature until like my mid to late 20s. And that's just the truth. To me, 18 is a baby. Yes, Corky, 25. Look it up. In West Virginia now, 21 for cigarettes, 25 for alcohol. Jay says, well, where I come from, you can drink legally with parental supervision at 5. Europe's a little different. Guns are easy to get over here. Booze are easy to get over there. Mayla's mom would like the drinking age raised in Indiana. Amber says, not everyone matures at the same rate. That is so true. Well, Mel, I'm glad you got out and you survived, because you know what? A lot of them don't. 18-year-olds do think they know everything. I was mature, but it was only after she was born that I left. It probably clicked for you, like, I've got to get her out of here, you know? Tisha says, our brains are not even fully developed until 25, so I agree with that. I just don't understand how you have to be 21 for alcohol and cigarettes, but you can buy a gun at 18. I don't understand that either, or enlist in the service, you know? My 25-year-old son needed me all the time, still wanted me to make his appointments. Not grown. Jesse, I am 34 and I just started like doing my own appointments. My mom still made my eye doctor appointment like a year ago, and I will need my mom forever. Like the day that I'm without her, I don't know what I will do, because, and just not even to do things for me, because I'm at the point in my life where I want to do things for her, but just to be there, so I definitely get that. All right, you guys. Well, I hope you have a lovely day. Oh yes, Delana, because that's a party school. But yeah, I hope you guys have a lovely day. Thank you so much for spending your morning with me. I really do appreciate you guys. Thank you to my mods. I appreciate you so much. Mel says life's lessons can be hard, but they also make you stronger. I was talking to someone about this earlier, and this is the thing. It was actually a comment. They were struggling and going through a hard time with addiction and stuff. And I have to say, like, the hardest, most difficult times in my life have made me so much of a better person. And even though some of the things that I've been through were just so hard to get through, and I've truly had moments where I've been on my knees begging God for me not to wake up the next day, as awful as that sounds. But I don't think, had I not been through that I would be where I am now and be the person I am now. So I think that it's hard to accept it, but those battles that we go through are really what builds us into who we are, so I'm thankful for those, even though it was really tough to go through. Oh, Hallie. All right. Well, I just love you guys so much. Thank you for being here, supporting me, believing in me. It really does mean the most. And I hope to see some of you guys later this evening. And yeah, I'll be sharing channels, throughout the day if my friends go live or whatever. I do want to say before we go, we talked about Gypsy Rose yesterday. And I talked about Jen and Melissa's coverage of the case, because they have covered it so extensively and done. Jen has really opened my eyes to another side of it that I never saw before. But then after I saw that, a couple other of my friends have covered it. Amber is one, and she always does excellent work. So, and then Cher also covered it. So on my community tab, you'll see I've linked those videos. If you're interested, go check them out. All right, you guys. Well, I hope you have a great day. Thank you again for being here. Thank you to the mods, and I will see you guys soon. Bye. Oh, no, I won't, because I did not end the stream. I meant to. Here we go. Bye.